So to start building this recliner side table or couch side table, it's pretty simple. We're going to use 2x2s. I've had somebody, two different people in two different videos make fun of how I say 2x2. They say I say TUBA by 2, 2x2, but I'm in the South. What can you expect, man? This is a 2x2, 1.5 inches by 1.5 inches is what we're going to use for our legs. I rip my own. You can buy these at your home store, whatever you want to do. This is a 1x4, 1x4. And then these are also 2x2s. For a recliner side table, you want it to be a little taller than a regular end table because a lot of times the recliner sets up. A normal end table height is 24 inches, or it's what I build my end tables. This recliner side table I'm going to build at 26 inches. This leg will be 24.5 inches tall because our top is 1.5 inches, which gives us 26 inches. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go 24.5 inches. I'm going to take these 1x4s, lay them in there. We're going to glue and clamp everything, and then pocket hole screw these in. All four sides. These 2x2s will go on the bottom like this, and then there will be a shelf on the bottom, and then we'll put the top on. This thing's pretty simple to build. Very easy beginner project if you want to try this. It makes a nice looking table for your home, and it's easy. So check the description down below for the link to the supplies and tools that I'm using to build this, and you can build it yourself. So once you get the sides made and then you're trying to put it all together, it can get kind of tricky if you don't have triangle attachment for your impact or your drill. So the way this works, it just snaps in just like a regular a bit, and then you can put your bit in this piece. I got this on Amazon. I'll put a link in the description if you're interested. Small areas like this. This is a 7-inch gap between these two, between here to here. So probably we're looking at probably 8.5 inches in there that I've got space. So I could actually get a little more cramped with this if I needed to. But it works great. Doing pocket holes in a space like this wouldn't be possible without it, unless you had a smaller drill or something. Too much. Too much one way and not enough. That's pretty easy. Ooh, bag. So that's not too bad. It's just a simple table. I got that bottom shelf in there. I just pocket hole some 2x6s together and rip them down to 4 inches each so that they would fit in that 8-inch slot. And that's what I got going on there. You can leave a gap there if you only bought a 1x4 for the top. You could put a 1x4 here and here, and there would be like an inch gap in the middle. Actually, the first one I built, I did that way. And I wanted this one to be solid because it's going to match that one, which is solid. Now it's time to build the top. It's going to be a 13-inch square top. Pretty simple, 2x8s, rip them down so that they're 6.5 inches each and 13 inches square. That's what we're going to do. I realize when I'm with you, I want to do what it takes to make you see, So I'm going to take my round over bit, it's a 3/8 inch round over bit on my router, and I'm going to round over the top of this little table. It just gives it a little more finished look, and that way we don't wind up with those sharp edges. I also will round over the bottom edge and each corner, make it look better. So I was going to use tabletop fasteners to fasten this top to our recliner side table, but I can't get my router in there to cut the slots. There's not enough space there when the battery's on there. So what I will likely wind up doing is just using pocket hole screws. It's not the optimal method, but this is only 2 pieces of wood, so I don't think it's going to affect it that much anyway. So that's how I'm going to attach it to the top. Just 3/4 inch pocket hole screws, or 1.25 pocket hole screws up from the top, and we'll attach the top that way. All right, so we're going to use our Minwax pre-stain conditioner for the recliner side tabletop. I always put this on the top before I stain it. I won't put it on the underside, but I will put it on the top side. Let that dry for at least 30 minutes before you put your stain on. You'll be good to go. It reduces any blotchiness you get. So I've got one coat of this General Finishes High Performance Top Coat. This is a water-based top coat. I really like this stuff. It works great. It's easy to go on. It doesn't leave a bunch of brush strokes and all that stuff. After every coat, I'll take a high grit sandpaper. This is a 1000 grit sandpaper with just a sanding block. I got this at Walmart with the sanding block. I got this on Amazon, this paper. Go with the grain. If you'll notice after the first coat, there'll be some rough spots in it, and that's okay. That's what this is for. This will knock those edges off, and any roughness or dust or something that's flown into your finish while it was still wet, this will take that off. We'll wipe that down with a dust-free cloth or a lint-free cloth, and then we'll put another coat on. Put as many coats on as you think you need. 2 to 3 typically is what I do, and then I'll go back with a wax finish on this set. Now this has been painted in distress now. The last step I do before I put my tabletop on, I'm gonna take this Johnson's Paste Wax. This stuff is awesome. You think it would leave a waxy film on it, but it doesn't. It dries to a hard finish. It just helps protect the wood. And why I like it the most is it gives it a butter smooth feel. 4/0 steel wool, which is 0000 steel wool. I take this steel wool, I take the Johnson's Paste Wax, I just rub the steel wool in there till it gets a nice coat on it, get that nice coat, and then I go with the grain. Doesn't take much. Always go with the grain though. When it starts feeling like it's dragging a little, put a little more on it. This is a very inexpensive way to add a nice finish to your project. And don't forget the little things like taking that and hitting the underside of these pieces so that when people pick the table up, it's smooth. Once I do that, I take this is just a washcloth. I buy these at Walmart by the pack of 24s for $3 or something. And I just wipe any excess off. I have seen people use a drill with a hog hair bristle brush and go back over this stuff, and it kind of gives it it polishes it basically, because this, you can polish this wax almost a semi-gloss finish. This will be satin once it's dry, and it'll take it 15-20 minutes to dry. You know, I don't know the cure time exactly, but 15 or 20 minutes you got a dry table. It will not feel waxy or leave a film on your hands after it's dry. All right, it's time to put the tabletop on. I put down a towel to protect my finish of my tabletop and turn her upside down. We're gonna set it on there. I'm gonna take my tape measure until it's correct. Should be about 1 inch all the way around is what we're after. I also use the old eyeball test. Make sure everything looks nice and square. Now, I typically always use Rockler tabletop fastener. And the reason I didn't on this table is, one, I forgot to, I should have notched out the slot for those before I put these pieces on. I didn't do it. Okay, I'm going to use pocket holes to put it on. I'm only going to use 2. I've drilled 4 holes. I don't think it needs it. I'm only going to use 2. I know a lot of people say that's a no-no. Such a small table. If it was a large table with a lot of joints, I would say no. A small table, those 2 joints, I don't think that's going to hurt anything. Here it is, a little recliner side table. Not a lot to this one. Pretty simple to build. It makes a great project and it works well for the space that you're going to use it in. It does have this. I did went ahead and put a wax finish on there. If you haven't seen how I do that, check out the Modern Farmhouse TV stand to see how I did that wax finish on the top. Pretty simple, steel wool, 4/0 steel wool, and paste wax, and then just buff it out.
I'm running out of time. Every day goes by so fast, and every moment counts, baby. I don't wanna miss a thing. We can sleep under the stars, we can sleep under the stars, or hang out in hotel bars, driving somewhere in your car. We can sleep under the stars.